neighboring state of North Dakota, we've certainly seen the effects of the increased rail. We're pleased that we have more of our own energy in this country. We think it's very important, but at the same time, we can't lag behind for our capacity and our safety standards. So I get very frustrated by government delay, I'll tell you that. So if you could answer your questions quickly, that'll show that we're on the right road. Ms. Quarterman, have you thought about with this rulemaking that's taken 2.5 years of trying to focus on the the tank cars that carry the most flammable and volatile liquid, since the severe derailments have involved that, to try to move that quicker?
We've been moving as fast as we possibly can. We have been working on these rules very hard, and I will say the discussion at the panel among the witnesses today point to why, even though we're working fast, we need to be strategic and deliberative in our process. As you've seen, the tank car standard has evolved over the past several years.
Do you think it's safer to have new tank cars or retrofitted cars?
It depends on what the retrofit is.
And do you think that we'll have the manufacturing capability to get those cars? I know Burlington Northern has just voluntarily agreed to do 5,000. Can we get those off the factory floors fast enough?
Well, I recently had a meeting with one of those manufacturers, and they said they thought they could. I think they're eager to do so.
Okay. And again, as many of us have urged here, just the sooner we can get this done, the better. We had a derailment with a train loaded with iron ore on December 5th of last year in Two Harbors, Minnesota. 76 rail cars piled up, another 17 cars loaded with iron ore pellets parked on an adjacent track were hit and derailed. Reports indicated that actually it was Canadian National, that they hadn't removed the snow and ice from the tracks. As you know, we've had a lot recently, despite warning from crew members. Do you think the railroads have the appropriate lines of communication, and I think this is probably best question for Mr. Hamburger, in place to ensure crew members can easily report these kinds of concerns?
I'm unaware of the specific that you're talking about, but I've always said that when it comes to security and safety, the 180,000 crew members that we have are the first line of notification of whether something is not right, if it happens to be a security issue, and the same for safety. So I believe every railroad has in place communication systems to get those kinds of safety issues from the employees. So I would think so.
Okay, well, we'll follow up with you with getting the facts out there so we can talk about it further. The other thing I hear around our state, in addition to things that have already been talked about, is that not having the capacity to prepare for and respond to an event like a hazardous spill or a derailment. What do you think, Mr. Hamburger, that rail companies could do to assist communities to ensure that they're properly prepared should a disaster occur?
Several things that they are already doing, and that is working with the emergency responders and training and letting them know what is coming through their communities, and designing training programs for the most dangerous things coming through the communities. But we're also, in the agreement with Secretary Fox, as an industry, taking on an inventory of what are the emergency response equipment out there, whether it's foam or booms for near water supplies, and try to have that available both for other railroads, but also share it with appropriate emergency responders so that they know what's available.
Mr. Saba, do you think we have enough track inspectors out there? This is something I've heard from our own Department of Transportation, as well as some of the workers that aren't on the panel today, but I know they're concerned about this. Do you think we have enough track inspectors, and what can be done to address a shortage? I know in our state we only have a few of them.
Well, I think this is similar to the answer that I gave Senator Hoeven. First off, the 45 additional employees that the 14 budget provided for us is going to help. The agreement that was signed with AAR requiring them to do additional inspections are going to help. My ability to more strategically focus on crude routes is going to help, and following our data is going to help, as well as the ability for states to supplement through our state partnerships. So, I think we've got the tools, and we just need to execute.
Okay, and I'm out of time here, but Mr. Blackwell, I'll follow up on the record about some of the concerns raised by Senator Hoven about the trying to move on the PTC implementation and just the concern that this is something that could help and that this is just taking too long. So we'll follow up with you on the FCC's role and what we can do to speed it up.